Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is April 8th, 2025, and Ibrahim Diarra has officially scored his first goal for FC Barcelona. Also, Nico Williams remains the favorite option to reinforce the left wing position. And finally, it's been revealed that Manchester City approached Dani Olmo during a winter transfer market. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and tomorrow is the big day. It's Champions League day. Well, Barcelona will face off against Dortmund in the quarterfinals of the European Championship, a match that will be played at our temporarily home stadium, Luis Companys. And as such, Hansi Flick participated in the pre-match press conference where he was asked what does he think on Barcelona being favored, and this is what the German coach had to say. I've already said it several times. We have to give everything in the match. We have worked hard in preparation, and we don't want it to be the end. We have to play well tomorrow. We haven't lost games, and that's important, but we have to perform as well as we can. So Hansi Flick making it clear that yes, we might be favored, statistically speaking. However, that doesn't mean that the work stops there. We still have to go out there, perform well, play our asses off, and that's, of course, something I've talked a lot about in my videos. I believe that Barcelona are the best team in Europe this season. I feel like any match that Barcelona go into, regardless of the opponent, regardless of the competition, Barcelona are favorites because they are the best team in Europe. They're favorites to win every trophy because they are the best team in Europe. However, that doesn't mean that the win is guaranteed. That doesn't mean that the trophy is guaranteed. You still have to go out there and play every match like it's a final, and Hansi Flick saying the same thing. Now, Hansi Flick was asked about statistics, about Barcelona's being favored by the stats, and this is what Hansi Flick had to say. Statistics don't interest me, nor does the past. What matters is tomorrow. We are all delighted to be playing in the Champions League. It's a challenge for us to play in Europe, and we want to be there. So Hansi Flick keeping up pretty much with the same message. Again, we might be favored. The stats might favor us. We might be the better team. Still, we have to go out there and do our best, which is pretty interesting because it's a complete divergence from a previous coach that shall be nameless. Because every time I name him, it triggers people. Because our previous coach used to tell us, whenever we lost or we drew or the team played bad, but the statistics showed that we were better. The statistics showed that we deserved to win. Yeah, but who cares? Did we win? No. So who cares if the statistics show that we should have won? We didn't win. And Hansi Flick pretty much taking the same stand, saying, I don't care about statistics. It's all about what we do on the field tomorrow. And of course, the objective is to win regardless of what the stats say. Now, on to the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, Ibrahim Diarra has officially scored his first goal for FC Barcelona. Now, that 18-year-old Malayan right winger is someone that Barcelona have very, very high hopes for after watching him play in that under-17 World Cup. Barcelona were immediately impressed with the youngster, one of the most promising talents to come out of the African continent. Of course, Barcelona reached a verbal agreement with him because at the time he was 17 years old, so they couldn't sign him per FIFA rules. But as soon as he turned 18, Barcelona immediately snapped him up, signed him back in December where he arrived in the club. And even though many people were expecting Ibrahim Diarra to play with Barca Athletic, Barcelona made the decision to put him in the Juvenil A or the under-19 youth team, which a lot of people thought it was weird or complained about it, but it looks like it's paying off. After all, I am not one to question what the academy does. As we've seen, we have the best academy in the world. They have produced some of the best players in history. So who am I to question their decision to put Diarra in the Juvenil A? If they think that's the best way to develop and grow the players, someone who they believe has a lot of promise, then that's what they need to do. And it looks like it's paying off because Ibrahim Diarra scored his first goal in Barca under-19 victory over San Francisco Juvenil A. He scored the only goal of the match, giving Barcelona the victory. And let's watch his goal. Here we have Barca Athletic. I know the angle's not the best. There's a pass to the right, cross to the box, and there is Ibrahim Diarra, who beats the defender to score his first goal for Barca Athletic. And with this victory, Barca Athletic are now sitting at the top of their table with 65 points, with second place being Mallorca Juvenil at 57 points. Now, Barca Athletic have, Barca Juvenil A have already won the Copa del Rey, or at least the under-19 youth version of the Copa del Rey. And it looks like they're on their way to win the league as well. And they're also doing great in the Champions League. Ladies and gentlemen, our Barca Athletic are struggling, but our Juvenil A is flourishing under the guidance of Giuliano Belletti, who, again, he's doing so well. Be careful. Maybe we have a future first-team coach in the making. All right, on to the next news, because, ladies and gentlemen, Nico Williams remains Barcelona's favorite option to reinforce the left wing position. Now, there's been a lot of reports stating that Barcelona have already started negotiations with Nico Williams. Those stories are not true. Barcelona have not started negotiations with Nico Williams. However, it is true that he still remains the main objective for Barcelona for several reasons. Now, as you know, Deco prefers Luis Diaz, where Laporta would prefer someone with a more high marketing value like Rafael Leao. But of course, given the club's finances, it's not going to happen, either of them. So Nico Williams remains the most feasible option, an option that everyone agrees on because, well, for several reasons. A, the financial situation, 58 million euros, you can sign Nico Williams as opposed to 75 for Luis Diaz or 100 plus for Rafael Leao. A second reason is the fact that he knows many of the Barcelona players and he's played with many of the Barcelona players on the Spanish national team, which means he would adapt immediately to the team. 3, his age. He's only 22 years old, which means he could stay at Barcelona for a much longer time. And finally, his high ceiling, where Barcelona consider that Nico Williams has a very high ceiling, where he could flourish in a team like Barcelona that's constantly attacking, as opposed to Athletic Club de Bilbao. They're not a team that attacks a lot as much as Barcelona, where Barcelona does. And as we've seen, Nico Williams, when he plays with the Spanish national team, he does great because the Spanish national team, they attack a lot. So they believe Nico Williams playing on a team like Barcelona, which does attack a lot, would mean that Nico Williams could flourish and he could reach his potential. So Barcelona remain interested in Nico Williams. However, it will all depend on Barcelona's financial fair play. Barcelona have to first figure out what their financial fair play is going to look like in the summer before deciding on making a move for Nico Williams. Anyways, we will end today's video with the news that it's been revealed that Manchester City approached Dani Olmo during the winter transfer market. Now, as you know by now, Dani Olmo's license expired on December 31st, and there was a lot of rumors about what was going to happen with Dani Olmo. Was he going to leave to another club? Was he going to go on loan, on a permanent transfer, etc.? Because after all, Dani Olmo does have a clause in his contract that allows him to rescind the contract if he's not registered and would allow him to leave without any penalties. But of course, Dani Olmo always maintained that he did not plan on using that clause, that if anything, if worst case scenario, Dani Olmo would leave on a 6-month loan, just spend the second half of the season somewhere else and then come back to Barcelona in the summer, because after all, it is his dream club and it's his goal to have, it has always been his goal to play for Barca. And it's been revealed that Manchester City actually approached him and offered him that 6-month loan, telling him, hey, come play the rest of the season. Then you go back to Barcelona, something that Dani Olmo, of course, appreciated the gesture, something that Barcelona appreciated the gesture as well, because again, he could have left for free, but instead he decided not to, and Manchester City were like, hey, come, and then you can go back, right? Now, fortunately, of course, the CSD ended up issuing that precautionary measure, which temporarily registered Dani Olmo. And now that Barcelona have won the case, he's now registered until the end of the season. Anyways, that is all for this video. I uploaded 2 other videos before this one. If you haven't seen them yet, make sure to check them out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.